I just tried the Life in the UK test and it looks like I'm going back home to Ghana. Their questions are difficult. Ha! Hey! So a friend of mine just recently sent me a WhatsApp message saying that he's passed his Life in the UK test. And I was like, whoa, congratulations. I haven't thought about it. Really, I haven't thought about it. If you're confused and you don't know what the Life in the UK test is, before you get your British citizenship or even before you get the indefinite leave to remain, aka permanent residency in the UK, there's a test that you have to write. If you fail this test, you cannot even apply for the British citizenship or the permanent residency. It's a requirement. You have to pass it. So the test is not expensive. It's like £50 and you're given 45 minutes to answer 24 questions and you're supposed to get 75%. That's like 18 of the 24 questions correct. So it's basically about British history. The thing about history is I don't like it. I hate history. You had to memorize the names of people who are dead and gone. The years things happen. My memory is not good for keeping years and names of people. Honestly, it's tough for me. It's like I'm dreading this exam. Guys, I asked my friend, how did you pass it? What was your secret? How did you pass it? And then he says there are certain apps that I had to download and they have like a question bank. If you keep trying the questions, you're likely to be able to pass the Life in the UK test. They have like a handbook with British history. Okay, you can get the hard copy version or you can get the ebook, or I think they also have the audio version of it as well. He solved almost all the questions in those apps and then it helped him pass his Life in the UK test. Okay, so I'm going to leave the apps here. Okay, they are not sponsoring this video and I'm going to leave a link to download the apps in the description as well. But I'm going to give it a try to see how it goes. I've seen a couple of sample questions on Google and I think that so this is how the app is like. Hey! Okay, so let's try test one. Obviously, let's try the very first test. Guys, before I do this, let me issue a disclaimer. I'm not dumb, okay? Don't judge me. Do not let what I get in this test change how you see me. I'm still the beautiful, smart Ghanaian lady, okay? Okay, which of these forts were part of Hadrian's Wall? First of all, I don't know what Hadrian's Wall is. The options are Howe Street, Skara Brae, Sutton Hoo, not applicable. I'm not going to choose not applicable. It sounds like a tricky thing. Let me just choose Skara Brae. Oh boy. But come on, like how does knowing this answer make me a better citizen? Why should me being a citizen be determined by me knowing this answer? Doesn't change anything. Let's choose Skara Brae or whatever. So I was wrong. The answer is Howe Street. Next, the monarch is the head of the Church of England. True or false? The monarch is the church. The monarch is the church. I think it's false. I honestly think this is false. It was true. If you did not get it right, just know that we are going home together. So this video is proudly sponsored by Lemonade Finance. Yes, so Lemonade Finance, if you don't know, is a mobile app that allows you to transfer money from the UK, Canada, and the US to 10 different African countries at no charge at all. Yes, no transfer fee. You can send money from the UK, Canada, and the US to countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Cameroon, Tanzania, Benin, Ivory Coast, to Rwanda at no transfer charge. As a matter of fact, as well, if you use the referral code Nanelle for your first transfer above £100, you get 10% of the money you're transferring back. Okay, so if you send £100, you get £10 back. If you send £200, you get £20 back, but it's capped at £50. You can download the Lemonade Finance app whether you use an Android or whether you use an iOS, and I'll leave a link in the description so that you can easily download. Trust me, ever since I discovered Lemonade Finance, that's what my friends and myself have been using. They are very reliable, very convenient. Okay, so download Lemonade Finance, send money to friends and family in any of these 10 African countries, and let me know what you think. Okay, thank you so much, Lemonade Finance, for sponsoring today's video. The UK is part of the United Nations. I think so. Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. All right. A very impressive hill fort can still be seen today at Maiden Castle in the English county of. I don't even understand the question. Let me choose Cornwall. Sounds nice. Dorset. Wow. See, I don't understand. Why is it so difficult? If you're a nurse and then you go into the US to practice, you get your permanent residency from the very beginning. You don't have to wait 5 years to pay for an exam to apply for indefinite leave to remain. Expensive. Honestly, this is not fair. This is not fair. How often are the elections held in Britain? Ghana is 4 years. So let's say maybe Britain is 4 years as well. Most countries is 4 years. Let's choose 4 years. It's 5 years. I never knew. I never knew. Wow. Lots of people carve lanterns out of dash and put a candle inside of them during Halloween. I know this. Pumpkin, obviously pumpkin. Yay! The Enlightenment is known as... Let me just choose slavery. I don't know. Let me just choose slavery. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. It's new ideas about politics, philosophy, and science that were developed in the 18th century. On Christmas Day, families traditionally sit down to a dinner of roast turkey, Christmas pudding, and a rich steamed pudding made from sweat-dried fruit and spices. I mean, how does answering this question make me a better British citizen? Like, how does this question make me a how? So if on Christmas Day I don't eat this or I don't know this, that means I'm not British enough or what? Or I don't deserve to live in the country permanently. I just don't get this, honestly. It's true. And I got it correct. The UK is one of the 5 permanent members of the Security Council in the United Nations. I'll say true. Yeah, I got it correct. Walking and using public transport to get around when you can is also a good way to protect the environment because it creates less pollution than when you use a car. Very, very true. I know that. Yay! So I've scored 5 out of 10 so far. That's good. That's really good. When were women allowed to vote? Wow. In the UK, yeah? So let me say 1882. That's the 1918. I was wrong. Wow. What is the Grand National? A tennis championship, a football cup competition, a horse race, a motor race. They like horses. Let me choose horses. Yay, I got it. Who is the patron saint of Wales and on which date is the feast day? Wow. Let's choose St. Peter, right? It sounds nice. It's St. David's first march. Guys, I swear, I'm honestly a very smart, intelligent girl, okay? The thing is, everybody has their strong points. The thing is, history is not my strong point. Ask me about nursing and I'll give you. Ask me about anything else, entertainment, and I'll tell you. But don't judge me based on this, honestly. Okay. James I and his son Charles I believed in the divine right of kings, the idea that the king was directly appointed by dash to rule. Let me say God, because they said divine right. So let me just say God. Yay, it's correct. Many schools organize events to raise money for extra equipment or out of school activities. I don't know this. Let me say true. That's true. The word Britain used in this test referred to everyone in England. You have to be dash to go into betting shops or gambling clubs. So I would have said 16, but because of gambling, I think it should be 18, I think. Yep, and I'm right. It's 18. Yeah, 18. So far, I've gotten 10 correct. I need 8 more. The most famous tennis tournament hosted in Britain is the Wimbledon Championships, which takes place each year at the All England Lawn Tennis and Cricket Club. I think so. It sounds true. Yeah! It is illegal to sell tobacco products to people under 18 years of age. I think this is common sense. I'll say true. And I'm correct. King Richard III of the House of York was killed in the Battle of Bosworth Field in... I don't know who King Richard III is. I don't even know who King Richard I was, not to talk of the third. I don't even know what Battle of Bosworth Field is. How on earth? Do you want me to know something that happened in the 14th century? Let's choose 1498. And it's 1485. Sad, man. Big Ben Bell, housed in the Elizabeth Tower, is over years old and is a popular tourist attraction. The Big Ben. I think I've seen it. I've seen it before in London. It's how many years old? Let me just choose 200. And it's 150 years old. Over 150 years old. Dash abolished slavery throughout the British Empire. The Abolition Act, the Freedom Act, the Slavery Act, the Emancipation Act. Let me choose the Freedom Act. It makes sense, right? So it is the Emancipation Act. Why is 1928 an important day for women's rights?
One eternity later.
So I had a score of 15 over 26. I'm going home. So clearly, I'm going home. Who's going home with me? But basically, guys, I am thinking of, starting to prepare for this exam. Since my friend just passed his Life in the UK test and he showed me how he passed, let me just come and give these tips that he shared with me with you guys, okay? So to pass the Life in the UK test, you can either study the whole handbook, okay? Or just practice a couple of tests, because it looks like they have like a question bank and then they pick these 25 questions randomly from the question bank. But these are like thousands of questions that you have to keep practicing, and you have to keep the answers in your head, okay, and understand it. Or you can buy the handbook online version or get the audio version and then read it when you can to pass it. The good thing is you can write a Life in the UK test at any point in time, even if you are only 1 year in the UK, and you can still use it when it's time to apply for the indefinite leave to remain. So you can start practicing for it now and then you can book. Let me know how many of the 24 questions you got. If you got 18, you are staying in the UK. But those of us that got less than that, it looks like we should pack our bags and go. Another friend of mine who also passed says she joined a Facebook group where they discuss sample questions. You know, so search on Facebook for Life in the UK groups, test groups, okay, so you can join and then keep practicing some of the questions there. And yeah, all the best to everybody who's due to apply for Life in the UK test, and I hope that these tips help you pass yours. Thank you so much. Bye.